So you make a video and you talk in it and it sounds absolutely wonderful in your head, but when you watch the finished video, it sounds really unprofessional. So here are some tips on how to do it better. 3 things to avoid are hesitation, repetition, and deviation. Hesitation is, repetition is saying the same thing twice, which is saying something that you've already said before. Repetition is bad, so avoid repetition and don't repeat anything. Deviation is when you go off topic and start talking about things that are completely irrelevant. And I must say that that's a very interesting word, irrelevant, as a bit of a linguist myself. It is a complete myth that penguins fall over backwards when they watch airplanes overhead. Some people, and I am not one of them, have the natural ability to talk for hours without having to stop and think, and still manage to be interesting, clever, and witty. We lesser mortals have to use a few tricks to help us. First, make sure you know exactly what you want to say and keep it short and simple. For example, this video can be summed up as, here are a few techniques that will help you sound more fluent. So try to sum up your video in one simple sentence and stick to that when you're thinking about what to say. The next step involves writing. Now, I personally write out a complete script, and here it is. You might prefer to make brief notes or perhaps just a list of bullet points. You need to experiment to find out which approach works best for you. Revise your notes, double-check your facts, correct any mistakes, and most importantly of all, cut out anything that you don't really need. If you're doing a voiceover and it's not a tutorial, then avoid describing things that the viewer can plainly see with their own eyes. So, for example, don't say, "This monument looks like an eagle." Instead, do your research so that you can say, "This monument is in memory of the pilots who lost their lives during the First World War." You may be able to memorize an entire script, and if you can, well done. I can't, and so what I do is I break up my script into short little chunks, and then I film at 2 or 3 zoom levels, so I only have to memorize one chunk at a time, and then I edit it all together later. You should also rehearse before you start filming. 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 In future videos, I'll be looking at more ways to improve your delivery. But if you're struggling with fluency, the tips in this video should help you a bit. Oh, by the way, for the Brits among you, yes, when I talked about hesitation, repetition and deviation, I was indeed thinking of a very popular radio panel game. But I cut that reference out because I thought it was irrelevant.